I had this client once. Let's call her Sarah. She came to me after years of trying to moderate. She had all the rules, only on weekends, only wine, never before 5. You know the drill. And every Monday, she felt like a failure. Not because she got blackout drunk, but because the promise she made to herself, she broke again. She didn't look like someone who needed to quit drinking, but deep down, she knew. What she finally realized, and what I want to show you today, is this. You think you want to moderate, but what you really want is to drink without consequences. That's the trap. Moderation feels like control, but it's just you trying to delay the truth. And the longer you delay it, the more at risk you become, mentally, emotionally, and yes, even physically. If you've ever thought, maybe I can just cut back, this episode is your turning point. Because today we're pulling back the curtain on moderation, what it really costs, why it keeps you stuck, and how to finally get the clarity you've been avoiding. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome to the Addiction Unlimited podcast, where you get to learn everything you want to know about addiction and recovery. I'm your host, Angela Pugh, co-founder of Kansas City Recovery, life coach, and recovering alcoholic. To learn more about me, you can listen to episode 0 on your podcast app or find us on the web at addictionunlimited.com. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast, the podcast for people who want to quit drinking and build a life they don't want to escape from. I'm your coach, Angela Pugh, and today we're talking about that question. The one you keep turning over in your head like a Rubik's Cube. Do I really have to quit drinking, or can I just moderate? If that question has been bouncing around your brain, you are not alone. It's one of the most popular questions I hear from people in my coaching programs, in my DMs, and in my communities. And if you've been caught in that, maybe I can just cut back loop, I want you to lean in hard today. Because the truth is, this isn't really about alcohol. It's about fear. Fear of losing your social life, fear of being different, fear of quitting forever. And underneath all of that, it's the fear of change. The fear of becoming someone new when you're not even sure who that would be without a drink in your hand. And that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Today, I'm going to give you the clarity you've been avoiding by breaking down why moderation feels like the safer option, why it almost never works, and the emotional truth you need to hear before you try one last time. Today, we're going to unravel all of it because this episode isn't just information, it's a wake-up call. And if it speaks to you, stick around to the end because I've got an invitation that could change everything for you this summer. Let's start with what moderation looks like on the surface. Moderation seems like a reasonable compromise. You say things like, I just want to drink socially. I'm not giving it up completely. I just need to cut back. Or it's not like I drink every day. And all of it sounds very reasonable. But let's look at what's really happening underneath. Most of the time, when people tell me they want to moderate, what they really mean is, I want to drink without consequences. You want the buzz, but not the shame. You want the relief, but not the regret. You want to take the edge off, but not fall over it. Sound familiar? And I want to say this really clearly. The premise of moderation is broken from the start because you don't really want to moderate. What you really want is to drink without consequences. The problem is alcohol doesn't work that way. You don't get to just take the fun and skip the fallout. And when you keep negotiating with something that's already taking more than it's giving, you end up exhausted and defeated. You want to feel buzzed but still be in control, to numb out but still be a good mom, a good partner, and a high performer, to keep drinking but not feel like you're losing it. That's not moderation, that's magical thinking. And let me say something that might sting a bit, but could change everything. Moderation isn't about control. It's about avoiding commitment. All moderation really is avoiding quitting and masquerading it as control. It's the comfortable in-between space where you don't have to make a decision. You don't have to say yes or no. You just keep floating in the maybe. You're not staying in moderation because it works. You're staying there because it lets you keep drinking without fully facing the truth. And I say this with love because I've been there. I would give myself little rules too. I did all the things: only beer, no hard alcohol, only 4 drinks, just 1 drink an hour. But every rule I made, I broke. And every time I broke one, I felt a little more ashamed. Moderation gave me just enough hope to avoid making real change, and just enough failure to keep me stuck in shame. If moderation was going to work, wouldn't it have worked by now? Let's be honest about what's really happening when you keep going back to moderation. If you're trying to regain control of your drinking, it's because you've already lost control. It doesn't come back. Now, let's talk about what moderation actually costs you. Not in theory, but in your life. Because moderation isn't just exhausting, it's dangerous. And here's why. 1, you waste your energy trying to control something that doesn't want to be controlled. Instead of building a new life, you're just putting out fires. Should I drink today? How much? Can I have one and not go overboard? That's mental gymnastics, and it's daily. And number 2, you stay in a false sense of safety. You tell yourself, I'm not like those people. I don't drink every day. I've never had a DUI. I've never lost my job. But let me ask you something. What happens if you keep going? Because that's a slippery slope. That's what nobody talks about. You're not avoiding consequences. You're inviting them. You are actively walking toward the things you say have never happened to you. The DUI, the lost job, the failed marriage, the day your kids look at you differently. And yes, it happens all the time. The founder of Moderation Management, the actual woman who created the movement to drink in moderation, got drunk, crashed her car, and killed 2 people. I think it was a father and a daughter. That's how well moderation worked for her. So I'll say it again. Every time you try moderation again, you're not stepping into power. You're stepping into delay. And delay has a cost. And while you're delaying, your drinking is evolving. Your tolerance is building, and your consequences are creeping in. You don't need another rule. You need a decision. Because every time you go back to only on weekends, only 2 glasses, no drinking at home, what you're actually doing is delaying the inevitable and increasing your risk. The DUI you swore you'd never happen, the job you'd never lose, the relationship you'd never damage, the example your kids are watching every day. And I know that's heavy, but it's real, and you deserve real. Every time you try to moderate again, you're not stepping into power, you're stepping away from it. And I get it, you're scared. I get that. But please don't confuse fear with a reason to stay stuck. All right, before we get into the real life tools that help you replace that glass of wine with something way more supportive, I want to take a second and tell you about a simple shift that's made a huge difference in my own recovery routine. And that's my Cozy Earth sheets. Cozy Earth's whole mission is to transform your 5 to 9, the time that matters most, into the most comfortable part of your day. And honestly, that matters when you're sober and rebuilding your nervous system. Their bamboo viscose sheets are temperature regulating, and I'm telling you, you feel the difference. It is brutally hot where I live already, and these sheets keep me cooler without sacrificing softness. And here's the thing, you can try them risk-free for 100 nights. That's the entire summer. If you're not in love, you can send them back. Trust me, you will not want to. I also love their all-day tea and their studio pant collection. They're breathable, light, and really feels like wearing pajamas in public. So if you're ready to upgrade your summer, head to CozyEarth.com, use my special code Angela for 40% off. Sleep cooler, lounge lighter, and stay cozy. You deserve it. So if moderation isn't the path, how do you know if quitting really is the answer? Here's my go-to tool. It's what I call the Clarity Framework. It's just 3 questions to ask yourself. No pressure. Just listen to your gut as I walk you through them. 1, how do I feel when I'm not drinking? Are you proud, relieved, clear-headed? Are you anxious, fidgety, and already planning the next drink? Because how you feel in that space says everything. If you're waking up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I'm so grateful I didn't drink last night. I'm so proud of myself. I got through that situation. I'm strong. I don't have a hangover today. There's your answer. Number 2, what is my actual goal? Control or freedom? Control means you're still managing it. Freedom means it doesn't manage you at all. And if what you really want is peace, control won't get you there. Freedom will. Number 3, what am I protecting by drinking? And is it really worth it? Are you protecting your stress relief? Is it your identity? Is it not having to feel certain emotions? And then ask yourself what it's costing you to protect that thing. Because when you start to measure what alcohol is giving you against what it's taking from you, then you stop trying to bargain with it. You start getting honest. If the best part of your day is the glass of wine at 7 p.m., then we need to talk about the other 23 hours because you deserve a life that doesn't need to be muted. And these questions are here to guide you, not shame you. They're just like their name, they're clarity questions. Here's what I want you to remember from today. If you're still trying to moderate, it's not because moderation works. It's because you're afraid of what life looks like without alcohol at all. And that's okay. But I'm here to tell you, what's on the other side of quitting isn't emptiness. It's everything you've been trying to feel through drinking. Clarity, peace, confidence, pride, sleep, sanity. Moderation is a slow burn. Sobriety is a full body exhale. And if you're ready to stop playing tug of war with moderation and start stepping into real freedom, then join me for the Dry July Coaching Challenge. It's short, it's powerful, it's private, and it's exactly the kind of reset that will move you from stuck and scared to clear and committed. And we're doing that in my Addiction Unlimited Facebook group. The link is in the show notes. It's facebook.com/groups/Addiction Unlimited. You can go on Facebook and just search Addiction Unlimited. I'll pop right up. And we're going to do it in the group. I'm going to be posting in there for everybody to sign up who's really interested. There's going to be emails. There's going to be exercises each day, something to do, something to put your focus into that really is about sobriety and creating change in your life and being able to get through each day sober so you can start to really string some days together and feel better. Nobody is going to stay sober if they quit drinking and still feel like shit. It just doesn't work that way. You have to have relief. And if you don't get that relief is underneath all of this, then go back and listen to my episode, Relief, Not Relapse, because that explains it all. And I will link that in the show notes as well. And if this episode hits something deep for you, send it to a friend, share it in your stories. You never know who needs this message right now. You're not alone in this. I'm with you every step of the way. Here's what I want you to remember as we close this conversation. If you've been stuck in the moderation loop, telling yourself that if you could just try harder, be stronger, set better rules, maybe this time it'll work, I want you to hear me. It's not about effort. It's about alignment. And if your goal is peace, moderation won't get you there. Commitment will. You don't have to keep living in this in-between space, trying to convince yourself you're in control when you know deep down you're not. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just tired of trying to fix something that can't be fixed. And if you're ready to start getting honest, I'm here to help. And those 3 clarity questions I walked you through today are going out in this week's podcast email. So if you're already on the list, you'll get that in your inbox, and those questions will be in there for you to journal on or reflect on, whatever you want, because I want you to have clarity, because this is the work, getting clear, getting honest, and deciding to finally choose you. I love you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you next week.
You've reached the end of another great episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. Candid and honest conversation about addiction and recovery. Be sure to visit us at addictionunlimited.com to join the conversation and access show notes and links to everything we talked about. Love this episode? Please take 30 seconds to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes to help us improve and give you the information you want. Thanks for listening. See you next week.